Our next speaker shares her unique, empowering, and powerful points of view with her audiences. Her forte lies in guiding businesses and individuals to rise beyond their fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs and achieve holistic success in their respective professions and lives. No wonder she is an expert in the area of setback leadership. She is known as the Iron Lady who can cry too. Be sure to ask her why she got this name. There is a fascinating story behind it. Please welcome on stage, Srijata Bhatnagar.
Hi Philippines! How are you doing today? Was the lunch good? What did you like the best about the lunch? Rice, okay. I love rice too. What else? Chicken. Wow, I love the chicken too. One of my favorite food is chicken and rice. I hear something, a kid saying something. Is there a kid here? No? All right. Okay, so how was the song before this? Are you guys inspired to write your books now? All inspired? Okay, let's get going. So what stops you when you want to write a book? What is that stops you from writing a book? Fears? Fears, right. So, okay, let me ask you a question before I start my speech. How many of you love failures? No one? Okay, brave one. Give me a high five because I love failures too, right? Okay, I will tell you, you're not alone. Even this man didn't like failures. And on 29th of July 2019, in India and in the rest of the world, we woke up to the news of him going missing. On the 31st of July, some of the fishermen found his body in the nearby river. This particular incident, the moment it happened, there was a letter that was apparently written by him surfaced. And in the letter, he had mentioned, I have failed as an entrepreneur. How many entrepreneurs in the house? Can I see a big hands? Yes. Did you guys ever fail in your businesses? Yes. I am an entrepreneur too, and I have failed multiple times. I'll talk about it a little later. When I read this letter and this particular news, I was heartbroken. I was like, what is going on? In the entire world, everyone is dreading the failures. Who is this man? Why are we even talking about him? How many of you know him? Anybody knows him here? No? Great. Let me talk about him a little bit more. He's an acclaimed businessman from India. He is well respected, well revered. He's the founder of Cafe Coffee Day, which is a cafe chain like Starbucks. You guys know Starbucks, right? Yeah, so he is the founder of a cafe chain called Cafe Coffee Day, which has 1,700 outlets all over India, as well as in abroad. He's given jobs to 50,000 people. He's won multiple awards as an entrepreneur. He is in the board of multiple companies in India and as abroad. He was mentoring so many other companies for success. Do you think he's a failure? How many thinks he's a failure? How many thinks, no, he was a great success? Yeah, right. Yeah, even I thought him to be a success. In fact, I used to see him as a mentor. When I was in college, I used to read his stories, how he turned Cafe Coffee Day from a small chain to a large chain. But this man decided to call himself a failure. And what did he do? He just took away his life. As an entrepreneur and also as a setback leadership speaker and a coach, I meet a lot of successful people at the one end, and I also meet a lot of people who are going through setbacks. That's when I read this story, it struck in my head. And I said, okay, I must do something about it. Who's this? You can loudly cheer for him. Amazing guy, isn't he? He is an amazing guy. But has he always been successful? No. He has had his set of failures as well, and that's how he has passed it on. How many of you know her? Anybody knows her? Yes, that's right. She's one of Philippines' upcoming HR professionals. And she's just amazing, and she's got so much of success behind her. But then has she never failed? What about him? Yes, you can loudly cheer for him. Amazing guy, isn't he? Amazing. He's one of the best. I love him. I really love him. And in fact, I came to know about one of his big setback stories yesterday while I was having dinner with a lot of locals here. And apparently he started as a rack picker, like a garbage picker. Yeah. And he tells that today he's successful only because he has had setbacks in his life. Is that correct? Right? Yeah, so I mean, look at these guys. All of them have turned their setbacks into their successes. And you know what? They are not the only one. Whoever I have met throughout the world, wherever I go and wherever I meet people, each one of them have built the palace of their successes from the rubbles of their failures, of their setbacks. Then, why are we so dreadful about setbacks? As if it's death. How many of you fear death? Be honest, guys, I fear death too. You tell me to go in the roller coaster rides, I will run away saying that no, I can't go. It's okay, you can be honest. Do you fear death? Yes, right, that's fine, that's all right. And we fear failures too, don't we? Yeah? But guess what? There's a secret here. And the secret is, you can't escape either, can you? So what's the best way to do it? To be prepared for it, isn't it? What about me? Do you think I have ever failed? I've been a hugely successful entrepreneur in India. I have written a book. I have a brilliant family. I have a doting husband. I have a daughter. I have a brilliant family. Do you think I have failed? How many of you think I failed? Thank you. You can really judge me well. I have failed in jobs. I was thrown away from my organization. 2 of my boyfriends dumped me. How many of your boyfriends have dumped you? It's good to be dumped. Yeah, come on, you find the right man after that. Right? Yeah. I have failed in my studies also. I hear there are some students here. Can I hear a noise? Were there students? Yes? Are you fear? Do you fear about your exams? Oh my God, what will happen if I don't get the exam? I have failed in exams as well. I have not died. See, I'm standing right in front of you. Right? I have failed in business. I have lost huge amount of money in business. Not in one, but 2 businesses. And I have gone through huge amount of depression where I almost killed myself. I used to carry sleeping pills in my bag and walk around thinking that whenever I feel like I'll just pop it in and die. Fortunately for me, I found the right support system. I found the right mentors who talked sense in my head, and I had the willpower to keep on going and turning setbacks into successes. So yes, I have failed. But then I have also figured a way out of each of these failures to take them towards a success. We'll talk about it a little later. Now, when I look through this, so my own situation, other situation, the contrary situations where people are taking their lives because of these setbacks, because of the failures, because of the fears, because of the problems. So I started doing research on, on the book that I wanted to write. And I said, okay, I will call it Setback Leadership. Because from setbacks comes the success. And from setbacks can be learned a lot of lessons. Now I thought, okay, let me do a little bit of a Google research and see, okay, what is available. And guess what? There was so much information available, throughout in the internet. There were so many books written for rags to riches, for failures to success and everything else. There were so many articles, there was so many information available there. I also noticed a very interesting trend, and I saw that most of these stories are all inspirational. They're hugely inspirational. But there was one thing that was missing. And that was, what can you learn from that inspiration and how you can use that in your own lives? I personally believe inspiration is as good as it is taken into action. Shah was talking about book writing some time back. And she was telling about her methodology to write books, right? Now, if she would have only told you, see, I have written 12 books, I have done this, I have done that, without telling you how she did it and what actions did she take to go for it, would it have made more sense to you? Yes or no? No, right? So therefore, the importance is right there. Therefore, if it is only inspiration and there is no action, what is it? It's like a seed which is ready to germinate, which can be germinated only when you sow it, you start putting water in it, give enough sunshine, and give enough air for it to grow. Only then can you see the plants, and then finally the fruits of success. So I realized the action part was missing in these books and the things that I was seeing in internet. So I thought, okay, I will write a book that talks about how leaders have used their setbacks and turned those into successes, and how all of you can too. Isn't it a great idea? If you know how exactly can a setback can be turned into a success, would that be a good idea? Yes? Super. So the dreaded how. If I tell some of you, you have to write a book, what's the first question you ask me? How? If I tell you, can you climb Mount Everest? How? Exactly. So the how is the question that a lot of us are struggling with. A lot of us get stuck into that. I need to write a book, but how do I do it? What actions can I take? I am going through a personal challenge right now. What can I do? How can I come out of it? I am having a tough time at my workplace. How do I come out of it? My exams are coming. I don't know how I'll perform. How I make sure that I perform well. These how questions are something that my client would ask me all the time. And that's why I said, okay, why not write a book that addresses these hows? So Setback Leadership is all about how can you turn your challenges into your own successes. The entire book is structured in different setbacks. So say a student is facing a challenge in his life, there is a story about that and how you can turn that around. A professional challenge you're facing, a personal challenge, a financial challenge, an emotional challenge you're facing, that's how the book was spent. And when you're reading the book, you'll realize some of those tools and techniques are so simple that you will wonder, is that it? Like really? Did I have to only do this? As human beings, okay, how many of you like complex problem solving? How many of you really like solving complex problems? Yes. Yeah, we all love solving complex problems. But you know what? The simplicity is the trademark of a genius. So it all lies in the simplicity of solving the problem. So hence, setback leadership talks about that simple solutions to your problems. I have interviewed leaders from all across the world who have been through challenges and then turned those challenges into their own success stories. And I've chosen to interview them very, very carefully. I wanted to interview people who are just like you and me, whom you can really relate to. Now one of them here, for example, the lady in the third on the top, she was actually denied a job of a firefighter. And what do you think she's doing today? She's a fitness icon and a celebrity in the US. She's inspiring millions of people to become fit and fine, mentally and emotionally. Similarly, some of them have been through huge polio in their life. But today they are pilots, they're dancers, they're gymnasts, etc. Like that, multiple stories are there, and what tools and techniques did they use to come out of each one of their challenges. The reason I have chosen to feature them and talk about their story is because I believe they are true setback leaders. Do you believe you are a setback leader as well? Yes? That was a very mild yes. Okay, maybe towards the end we'll get a better yes. Right? So throughout the book, we talk about a lot of self-reflection and action. We don't talk about only reading. It's an action-oriented book. So it's not a storybook you keep reading and then you feel good about it and go away from there. The entire book will talk about a lot of self-reflection, taking stock of where you are right now, what can you do to go to the next point, right? I personally believe setback leadership is not a book. It's a lifestyle. Why do I say that? Because once you imbibe each of these tools and techniques in your own life, your lifestyle will change. You will become a setback leader. And that is exactly why I have created an online community of setback leaders, where each of the people who are reading the book or who have been featured in the book, as well as me, are part of that group of community. And when you buy a book and you click a picture and send it to me in my email, you can actually take a picture of this particular slide and follow the instructions as per given here. You get added in that group. It's for free, and I interact with each one of them in that group always regularly, because I believe when you are in the process of transforming yourself, you need accessibility. You would be having so many questions in your mind, and you would need somebody to answer those for you. You would need to have somebody behind you, and that is what I have created. So if you believe that you want to change your lifestyle to a setback leadership lifestyle, you can do this. Now, how does setback leadership help you as a person? First of all, it allows you to see a setback as an opportunity, on the contrary to roadblocks. How many of you feel that, okay, setbacks means I'm stopped, I'm stuck? Stuck? Anyone? No? Yes? Very good. So, yes, setbacks are a temporary speed breaker in the way of your life. But that speed breaker is what changes your direction to a direction where more opportunities lie in. If, for example, Lauren, the lady who we were talking about before, didn't see the opportunity to become a fitness icon even after her opportunity, she wouldn't be where she is today. It is your propeller for growth. What do I mean? What does the propeller do? Can somebody tell me what does the propeller do? It makes it faster, right? It makes the ship go faster. It makes any vehicle go faster, right? So setbacks actually take you towards faster growth. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is when Roger, one of our people, one of the leaders who were featured in the group, in the book, when he lost a job. He couldn't crack the dream, the job of his dream. He reached out to his his employer and said, what did go wrong? Where did I go wrong? And he gave him some feedback and he worked on it. 6 months later, he cracked the same job with double the salary. Did it propel his growth? So that's what it can do to you too. To turn challenges into successes. What does that mean? When you know exactly what needs to be done at a situation, you do that and you come out of it. Setback leadership is all about that. Knowing the right thing to do at a time where you're feeling a challenge. Let me share a story about myself. My book wasn't ready. I was scheduled to travel from India on the 14th, early morning 14th, which means I needed my books beforehand. And due to certain printing problems and shipping problems, etc., my book wasn't ready. I'm coming to the Global Authors Summit and my book isn't ready. What do you think would have happened to me? On the 12th, my publishing manager calls me and says, ma'am, I'm sorry, the books cannot be shipped. It's not ready. What do you think I would have done? I just called up. I figured the problem, exact problem, what was going on. It was the printer who was taking time. I had a nice chat with the printer. I influenced him and made sure that he was ready with the books. And I had my books just before I boarded the flight. Problem solved, right? So that is what it does. When you have the tools, you can actually take it towards success. It also gives you the step-by-step guideline for self-initiated action. Now, a lot of us, I see today's world when I coach people, they're looking for an instant solution. Is there any instant solution? When you go to a doctor, when you're unwell, what does the doctor do? He gives you medicine? Sorry? Diet notes, that's right. But is it for a day? Or is it for a prolonged period of time? Your dietary prolonged period of time, right? So it's a guideline that the doctor is giving you. He's telling you what needs to be done, right? And that is what you do regularly. And when you do that regularly, you improve, right? Even a course of a normal fever medicine is for 5 days? 3 days? Then do you get instant medicine? No. All right. So basically it talks about the step-by-step action and guideline to take towards self-initiated regular action. And finally, you turn out to be a setback leader from a setback victim. From a complain mode, you go to a mode where you're ready to challenge that situation. Saying that, okay, instead of saying, I can't do anything about it, you're saying, let me see what can I do about it. Is there anything that I can do about it? Right? So let me ask you these questions. Do you want to be a setback leader? Okay, so in that case, may I ask you to repeat with me, I want to be a setback leader. As loud as you can and feeling it. I want to be a setback leader. One more time. I want to be a setback leader. Thank you. And I want to leave you with this thought by the great Steve Jobs. How many of you love him? I see a lot of iPhones here. Right? This man said, pursue your dreams and see the opportunities in life's setbacks. Question is, are you ready to see them?